But two compelling arguments, I have to say, and both amazing world-class players. Owen, I mean, he's been doing the rounds, been doing a few podcasts as well, and he talks about injuries.
Yeah.
And he talks about, it's really fascinating, where he talks about how his head wanted to do something, but his body couldn't quite get there. And obviously, we know about Owen in the latter stages of career. Hung his boots up relatively early. Now, I wouldn't be doing my job if I mean, I've got David Bentley to my left here, to ask, you must have resonated with that part of Owen's story, what with the way that you left the game.
Yeah, I have. I mean, yeah, it's difficult for me because I'm going to... I'll probably open up now and talk about and give the honest opinion of when I retired and how I retired and what I did. It was, I played my last game at 28 years old, and obviously retired at 29. But I've gone on and said, there was quotes that I went out and said I fell out of love with football, and I was heartbroken at the time that I made that decision. Absolutely ripped the heart out of me. As a young kid, I've got to get emotional talking about it, but as a young kid, all I ever wanted to be was a footballer. From 3 years old, I remember it had a little yellow ball up against the wall every single day. It was just a machine. And at 6 years old, it's my earliest memory, seeing Gaza at the World Cup. 6 years old inspired me to be a footballer. All I wanted to be was a footballer. Every day of my life, I dedicated to being a footballer. And I'll give you the long sort of element of it, and to go in, battle and do everything that you've got to do to be a footballer. Obviously, the privilege of being at Arsenal's youth development, which is at the time was probably one of the greatest youth systems that ever, to have Don Howe, Liam Brady. I owe him so much. I had a young coach called Andy McDermott. It was such a privilege. I got to travel the world with football. The opportunities it's gave me, not only financial to obviously look after my own family, but also what it gave me. I loved every minute of it. I didn't have a very privileged upbringing. Obviously not a lot of money within my family. So football was my sort of way, it was inspiring to sort of be a footballer. Going on to obviously play for Arsenal, and my personality is what it is. Everybody kind of sees what it is. I live each day as if it's my last. I enjoy every minute. I always, even doing what we're doing now, humbled the opportunity to be able to do that. A kid coming from where he was from, and then the opportunity every day. And I had that with football.
Yeah.
And then going on to be part of Arsenal, be part of the Invincibles, be part of obviously going up to Blackburn and 15th in the table, and spending 2 or 3 years with them in Europe, getting them, and then coming back to Tottenham, qualifying for the Champions League. It was an incredible journey. I loved every minute of it. I love football so much. And then after we qualified for the Champions League, and that's why I signed for Tottenham, get us in the Champions League. So to accomplish that as part of the team, things didn't work out for me, and I sort of probably took a lot of bad loans. I went to Birmingham, didn't work out, got involved in a relegation battle, wasn't the best move for me.
Yeah.
I went to West Ham, found a really good place there, and I did my knee and spent a whole year out. Truth be known, I come back from that injury, I wasn't the same. It was the condyle defect in your knee. It was like the Ledley, Paul McGrath, that kind of injury. So I come back, and it was devastating to know at that point I'm not the same player. And I think Owen probably had the same thing. And then I went over to Russia to try to be. I was the first English player to play there. That was quite exciting. It was a different environment. I could solely focus on football. That didn't quite work out. And then the last resort was going back to Blackburn, where I had a really happy place, but then went into the new ownership was there. Manager got sacked after 3 weeks. And I remember my last game, just crying my eyes out. I remember it at Cardiff. Wow. I come in, my dad was in the car. All that story, you spend your whole life, I'm getting emotional now, but every day, just loving football. I loved not only playing, but just being in and around sort of everything. And I got in the cast as my last game. It was really, really tough. It was heartbreaking because it just wasn't. It felt like through all that process that the game had left me, and I had left the game mentally and in my heart. And the reason why, like even talking about it now, so I've gone on so many shows since. And I always give the impression, it doesn't matter to me, because it's a wall that I build up. Maybe as a man, I didn't want to admit that I was broken by it. I sort of went, no, I'm fine. I live down in Marbella, I'm fine. I've got all the businesses, I'm all good. But in my own head, it's been inside me for a long time. And I've got children now, and you want to be honest to them. I'm always telling them, tell the truth, get it out. And obviously, I'm working with, you don't know this, but I'm working with a charity called Say It Lad, which is a voice note thing for young men. And there is a bit of an epidemic. I'm seeing it quite a lot. Recently with Ricky Hatton, there was the young guy, or the young women's manager. He's, I think everyone should open up, and young men should. And then you feel like you've got a platform to say that. So it's something that, obviously, we're family now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Look, so it's something that I wanted to be honest about, that it did break my heart, when the game left me, and it was the game that I dedicated from 3 years old, inspired by Gaza, and I had to
give up the thing you love.
Give up the thing I love and move on to something else. But that love, now, the reason why I didn't watch football for 5 years, I just literally left the game, moved down to Spain, and I got interest that took my mind away. I know other people don't have them privileges, And
you didn't watch football because, would you think that's because it hurts too much?
I told everyone that I'm not interested. It hurts so much. Now, I've got a son, he's 11, 12 years old, and he absolutely loves football. Like, he's obsessed. And he's very similar to me. Don't listen to anyone, does his own thing. He wanted to join his football club. So for the past sort of 3 years, he has just ignited that flame back in me. Grassroots football, you're looking at the coaches, the dedication that they give, the parents, how much they love it, the WhatsApp groups, the videos. Just beautiful people that are loving the game. It's like a religion, this game, and how much it inspires a generation. It inspires children, it inspires people, it inspires debate. It's a beautiful thing, and to be part of that, I wanted to be honest, like what it meant to me, and to get that love back through my own child. It's an amazing thing that I can now. I don't. My missus is like, all you do is watch football. You watch anything else? I'm like, yeah, but it's just. But it's in my heart. It'd be like I don't know, you love your life, you marry him, and obviously people can relate to it, they get divorced. And you're like, I don't know how. No, it's devastating. And that's that honesty. And I look around and I feel like I need to say that about, when I go on about showman or artistry and caring for players. And we just talked about Rooney and Owen and Kane being appreciated. And now we've got Grealish, Rashford, you've got Sterling sat doing nothing in the background. It's, we should value and protect that. And I do want to do that moving forward. And that's why, just to be honest and not put on, my personality is what it is, and we've all got it, but the love of the game, I've got, it was very difficult to live with that for a period, but devastating that I've,
Why did you know? You said when you got back in the car with your father at
Cardiff. Yeah.
How did you know it was your last game?
I just didn't have. I think it was a continuation of so many things that had happened, the journey that had happened from that Champions League high to the Birmingham, Blackburn, Russia, West Ham.
But you're only 28 years old.
Spending a year out with my knee was difficult. Difficult for me personality-wise. But it's tough, that's life. People have more difficult things than that. But when I come back, my knee weren't the same. I weren't pushing off. I wasn't the fastest player. I think Owen might have had that. He had the injury. He just weren't the same. He had to adapt his game.
Yeah, he ended up playing midfield at Stoke.
It was his hamstrings, I think.
So mine was always, I was always I could always get half a yard quicker than most players. I could always move it and be quick on the ball. But my left knee played a major role in that. I don't know whether that was so much impact on my left because on my right leg dominating.
Yeah.
And I used to have funny technique. I didn't know whether, and but yeah, it was gutting. It was and so many. The thing is with football, the amount of opportunities it gives, the amount of doors. And you think it's a worldwide love game. It is a beautiful game that brings nations together, doesn't it? It brings us all together, and to be a part of that, what it gave me. You feel like you want to give something back because you look back. I got a bit older. I'm 41. I know I look sort of 28. There you go. There's the humour to protect yourself. Yeah, he's back. He's gone in. But it's. Yeah, it's...
That's an art, that is, coming in and out like that.
It is, isn't it? It is coming in and out of that, yeah. But I'd be a good actor, wouldn't I?
You would.
But,
no, do you know what? I have to say, well, first of all, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're getting I could see you were getting emotional.
I've never discussed that.
No.
I've been on so many podcasts. There's so many, doing We're Here,
No.
And that is my personality. I never change that. That is who I am. But the truth about that, there's too much out there, and it followed me like a big weight round my neck, and it's off my chest now. Look,
Well, that's
I feel
great.
better.
Do you know
I
what?
feel better. I feel liberated.
You've got to talk about it.
Yeah, you've got
No,
to
we
talk
do.
about it.
We do.
I think it's a beautiful thing what you said there, that you can this thing that you've loved for so long, football, hurt you to a degree because you had to leave it early and you couldn't face football for a while, and then your son made you fall back in love with that.
Dalton
all
Bobby
over
Bentley.
again.
What a name.
Dalton Bobby Bentley.
Bit like yours.
Yeah.
I can't remember that.
Ryan Scott-Dogulas.
Ryon Scott-Dogulas.
It's my own fault. It's my own fault.
Beautiful man like you. Yeah.
But honestly, Bence, I'll say it again. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I know that must take a lot to get that off your chest and talk about that. So we're appreciative of it, me and Rory, and I'm sure all the listeners and watchers as well. Let's talk about that thing that you love. Let's get back onto
Here we go.
football.
Sorry about that. I brought the tongue down there, didn't I?
There we go. We know we can bring it back up. That's the thing. So we're all right there. We're in no danger. Quickly touch on the Europa League. Rory. This competition, especially, you know what? I'm going to go one further. The Conference League. Obviously, Chelsea won it last year, but nobody's talking about it. And there's been things